Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about and to let you know the honest truth and how I really feel of Subriel Matias versus Laim Paro fight, even though I've already talked about the fight. But now that I've thought about it, a couple of days since the fight, had times to process things and really think about it. And this isn't because I'm Puerto Rican and me and Matias is from the same area in Puerto Rico and Fajardo. It's not about that. I just know my hometown fighter. I know how he really fights. I know what he brings to the table, and it was a competitive fight. A lot of people saying Matias got beat easy and all that stuff. Matias had his moments in the fight, but that honestly was not Subriel Matias. The Subriel Matias that we are accustomed to seeing, the true Subriel Matias fans know that that wasn't the 80 punches per round, suffocating pressure, punches upon punches, Puerto Rican wrecking ball that was in there in Manatee. That was not that Subriel Matias in with Paro. Kudos to Paro, not taking anything away from Paro, who's a good boxer, who has good feet, and had a tremendous game plan, and it worked. He had the game plan. He boxed well, he moved, he held, he did what he needed to do, and got the victory. But those who know Subriel Matias and how he truly fights, it was not even close in that night. Yes, we saw Matias let his hands go in spots. Yes, Matias landed some thunderous shots on Paro. There was one point where Paro took a left uppercut and snapped his head back quick. It came so fast, and even people were saying Matias didn't throw any jabs. He barely threw any jabs, and there was a jab that he threw that snapped Paro's head back. It was like a straight right hand, a power jab. Paro didn't like getting hit to the body by Matias. Matias would hit him to the body. He would back up every time. And in the end of the rounds, Matias would land a flurry and the bell would save Paro. So those are things, but Matias will only be doing that in the end of the fight, in the end of the round. Matias will do that all rounds. You know, Matias is the reason why Matias is called the most exciting fighter in boxing right now, one of the most, and the most dangerous fighter 140, because he doesn't stop through punches. After the first two rounds, you know, he feels you out. And that's the thing, that was a big mistake. Unfortunately, it was a habit for Matias, letting go the first couple rounds like he normally does and get going. I think he needs to change that and start early, man, because that's a mistake that can cost him in another fight. You know, you just never know. But Paro is an excellent fighter, but Paro is no different from Ergashev, Chukembayev. He's no stronger than those guys. He's just as strong, if anything, than those guys. Ananian, Dadashev. And all of those are good fighters. So to ask why am I putting Paro with those guys are good fighters. They're high risk, low reward. Ergashev can fight. Dadashev could fight. Rest in peace. Ponce can fight. Chukembayev can fight. Petros Ananian can fight. Those guys were high risk, low reward. Matias went in there and stopped all of those guys. Now, when I was at the fight, I was like, okay, I saw a competitive fight. I saw Paro giving his angle, moving, holding. But there was a lot of times where Matias will be right in front of Paro. Paro will be right in front of him, and Paro will be throwing his punches. And I'm like, nah, Paro ain't got nothing for Matias. Matias with his hands up, he's just gonna open up any minute now on Paro in between shots. But he didn't. Paro does not hit harder than Ergashev. He does not hit harder than Chukembayev. He doesn't hit. He hits just as hard as he doesn't hit harder than Ponce. Matias have been given some heavy firepower in return, and Matias fights back. Paro, his firepower was not that thunderous. As a matter of fact, it was firepower to where Matias could have easily fought back. That was the type of firepower where Matias would be like, "Is that all you got? Okay, here comes 4 or 5 punches right back." That's Matias, and we all thought that we all were sitting down right there, waiting for, okay, the first couple rounds. We're there. We're like, okay, yeah, he always does it. We got it. First couple rounds. All right, he feel power out. He feel what he's got. Now it's time to crank it up. Third round, he won the third round. 4, 5 was competitive. 6, he won the 6 rounds. 7, 8, 9, it was a toss up. Then 9, 10, 11, 12. Man, he gave those up. He did not throw punches. A lot of people saying he was gassed after the 6th round, because when Paro went back to the 6th round, this is the thing. This is the thing. When Paro finished the 6th round, where Matias was pouring it on him with punches upon punches, Paro went back to the corner with a deep, deep breath, like he wanted to quit. He was out of it. He sat down and he really looked discouraged. He really looked like he didn't want to be in there. And his trainer, who'd been with him since he was a kid, throughout his whole career, was giving him the pep talk of his life, of his career, that you can do this, dig deep, don't let him get on you, do not let him get off shots, use your feet. And when the bell rung and the start of the 7th round commenced, the crowd in Manatee stood up because they felt Matias was going to come out and finish the job, because we all know how Matias is. You cannot get hurt in front of that guy, because he's going to come and destroy you. Bell rung, 7th round, Matias barely let his hands go. He just came forward, right in front of Paro with his hands up, not doing anything, catching every punch Paro throws on his gloves, some shots getting through in his elbows. And I'm like, why is Matias not letting his hands go? A lot of people are saying like his hands were tied in the fight. And I'm like, damn. The damn holding. Paro with his constant holding. And Matias fights well on the inside when it comes to clinching and stuff. Matias bangs away to the body pretty good. He fights well on the inside. Even in clinches, Matias will hit you. He did it with Ergashev. He even did it with Paro at times, where Matias got a little space and he was hitting with 3, 4 hooks, left hooks, and Paro backed off, and that hurt him. And every time Matias would go to the body, he would hurt Paro. He would back up. He didn't like it. And I was there at ringside. I'm like, Matias landed some few body shots, and there was one that sounded like a drum, like if Matias was banging a drum, and it was Paro's ribcage. And I'm like, damn. So I felt like if Matias kept on to the body instead of focusing too much on the head, Matias would have probably stopped him, could have got him out of there with body shots. Matias had him at times. Matias, when he was pouring it on, Paro didn't know what to do besides be defensive and put his hands up and eat those shots. But I just felt that was not the Matias that we were coming to see. Matias is known to be this relentless, brutal, pressure fighting monster with 80 punches per round. Tap, 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 boom, a hard one, awkward style, punches upon punches. And that was not in there with Paro, unfortunately. Not to take anything away from Paro, man, but I'm sorry. Matias, that we all accustomed to seeing, was not in there for some reason. And he was gassed after the 6th round. Maybe that's another thing. He got tired. Matias that we know and accustomed to seeing, he does not get tired. A fighter that normally throws 80 punches per round has to have a tremendous conditioning and gas tank. And that's Matias. But Matias threw, instead of 80 punches per round, he threw half of that. And imagine he had Paro backing up at times, from body shots, from left hooks. Paro didn't know what to do besides shield up. Matias said, was asked if, what would you do if Eddie Hearn grants you a rematch? And he said, well, if Eddie tells me to go to Australia to fight Paro once again, I'm going to knock him out. And the thing is, I believe him, you know, because Matias now will know what to do better, what he would have learned from his mistake, whatever mistake that was, and go out there and do what he got to do. Some people saying he was probably overtrained. The distractions, the nerves got to him in front of his people. Like how he said, he prefers to fight outside of Puerto Rico than in, because well, his biggest fights were not even in Puerto Rico. The Dadashev fight, the rematch with Petros, all the fights, Hawkins, Jukembayev, Ponce, Ergashev, they all were in the States, in America. Um, and Matias shined. Here he comes now, 5 years later, back to Puerto Rico the first time. And everything was set up to be this spectacular homecoming spectacle. You know, if Matias got the job done, if he had got the job done the way we all anticipated, Matias would have become like the next Tito Trinidad, the next superstar in boxing, in Puerto Rican boxing. It was set up and lined up for that. Back home, in front of your people, you're defending your world title. If you would have gotten the knockout like how you normally would and blow the roof off of Manatee, the superstar and Subriel Matias would have definitely been born. But it didn't happen. Out of all the fights, it didn't happen. The monster, the punching machine, the máquina de guerra was not there. True Matias fans know how Matias fights, and that was not his best in there. Matias could say all he wants. He beat me. It's hard to accept and believe that that was the best Subriel Matias in Laim Paro. No way. No way. Matias is naturally stronger than a lot of these 140s. He's the stronger puncher than a lot of these 140s. He's got a style no one has. Suffocating pressure, iron chin. If Matias threw 80 punches per round, I didn't think Paro uh, would not have been able to handle that. Honestly, because anytime Matias would put hands on Paro, Paro would shield up like a turtle. Every time Matias hits the body, Paro backs up. But Matias did not throw as much punches that he normally does. And this is what I'm trying to say. Something was off, man. Something was off. And I'm really hoping that Matias can get that rematch, or I'm dying for him to come back and get that win, and get back and win in ways again, man, because that was not a good taste this past Saturday, man. Imagine, I've been waiting for Subriel Matias for 2.5 years now. I finally got the chance, and the results and this is what I got. Subriel Matias losing at home. Yeah. It was a long drive back to Fajardo. Trust me, mentally, because that was not nice. But hopefully, man. But after a little while, I started to feel good. Like, you know what? I've been here before with Subriel. I'm a true supporter of Subriel. We lost against Petros and Anyan in that first fight, and I always felt like he could have beaten an Anyan, and I've always wanted him to get that rematch. And look what happened. We knocked him out. We stopped him. Same way I feel about Paro, because I know that was not the best Subriel Matias. And if he gets a rematch with Paro, wherever the hell it is, could be. What if the fight is in Puerto Rico again, Australia? It doesn't matter. I feel that Subriel Matias can stop Paro. And yeah, because I know he's gonna throw more punches. He's gonna learn from this. There's a lot of media out there, a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of podcasts talking about what took place. And I know Matias is watching and listening to all of these stuff, and it's gonna get to him in a positive way, meaning that, fuck, sorry for the language, but I really messed up, and my fans know how I truly fight. I know how I truly fight. I didn't throw 80 punches per round. I didn't went in there fight like a man on a mission, a savage trying to please my people. I didn't. I let them down. Instead of 80 punches per round, I threw half of that. I didn't let my hands go as much as I did, and as much as I usually do. Paro boxed well, he used his foot, he gave me his angles, but I can do better. I've been hit harder, way harder than that, and I fought back and stopped these guys. Paro's no different. Paro doesn't even hit harder than Ergashev. He doesn't even hit harder than Ponce. He doesn't even hit harder than Jukimbayev. I put someone in a casket, for God's sake, someone that's good. I'm that dangerous. What happened? You know? That's how I feel about this thing, man. I feel like, congratulations to Paro, man. Whatever happened to Matias, that's on him. But at the end of the day, whatever happened to Matias caused Paro to win the belt. You know? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's how I feel about things right now. You know, I feel that Matias was never there. He was there in person, but the fighting spirit, the the bad intentions, the mean machine, the punching machine, the boogeyman, he was not there. Let me know what you guys think. Was Subriel Matias, the Subriel Matias that you're usually accustomed to seeing, was he in there with Paro? I don't think so. What do you think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave those comments below. And yeah, I can't wait for the comeback, because this comeback is gonna be just as special as the first comeback that he did with Petros. Got the rematch, became world champion. So this is it. And the next thing, a lot of people like to turn their backs on fighters when they lose. Oh, you lose, trainer, trainer. Um, this is at the end. Matias has been with Panda since the rematch with Petros. They got the rematch. They became world champion. They won 5 fights in a row. Quit making all 5 fighters quit. And you lose this one, and now it's time to change trainers. Get out of here, man. They'll be back. Matias will be back. He's still a dangerous man. He's still a dangerous man. And I can't wait for him to come back and prove it once again. And I know Matias is going to be world champion. Don't be surprised he goes up to 147. But for me, he should stay at 140 because he got unfinished business. You know, he got money to make with Teofimo, Prograis. He still can fight Prograis. Prograis is coming off a loss. Now these two guys have no belt. They can still fight each other. It'll be a tremendous fight. You know, if Matias beats Paro, on Prograis, that's a great victory. That would be the biggest win of his career, because he'll then have beat a top elite 140. Of course, a rematch with Paro and taking back the belt is just as great, because he will prove everybody wrong that first fight in Puerto Rico was a fluke, wherever it took place, wherever it takes place. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think about Matias' performance. Was that the real Subriel Matias in there? And what do you guys think his move should be next? Miracle Boy Boxing, guys. I'm your host, Jose Cruz. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.